The first black contestant, a man in a skirt and a woman in pants, and block voting galore. Let's talk about Eurovision 1966. Welcome to Eurovision Histories, the series where I watch old editions of Eurovision so you don't have to. The 11th Eurovision Song Contest was held in Luxembourg after France Gal's victory in the previous edition and hosted by Josiane Chen. It was broadcast to many Eastern European countries, including the Soviet Union, for the very first time through the Intervision network and signaled improving relations between the two blocs. All 18 participants of the previous edition joined again. The field of participants skewed heavily female, clearly inspired by France Gal, which may have decided the eventual winner. There were many firsts at this contest. The language rule was introduced and each participating country had to sing in one of its national languages. This probably happened because Sweden had decided to sing in English in the previous edition. The Netherlands sent Milly Scott, the first black contestant in Eurovision history. Her parents had immigrated from Suriname, a former Dutch colony. Her dad was a member of the Dutch Navy during World War II and was taken prisoner by the Nazis, unfortunately dying in captivity shortly after. Milly Scott started to perform to support her mother financially. Unfortunately for Eurovision, she was given a novelty song about Fernando from Filippo, a Mexican guitar player. She was accompanied on stage by two men wearing stereotypical Mexican clothing, sombrero included, which nowadays would be cancelled for cultural appropriation, I'm quite sure. This was the first time people were on stage for purely accessory purposes. Milly Scott came 15th with only 2 points. Denmark also had 2 dancers accompanying its entry. This did not convince the jurors and Denmark only came 14th. The country would disappear from Eurovision for 12 years after this edition. Yugoslavia presented a beautiful Bez Preset, which only came 9th but later achieved notoriety for its alleged similarities with Spain's 1973 entry Eres tú. Spain sent a very popular singer Raphael with the song Yo soy aquel. A song about love. Apparently. His very dramatic style of singing made him famous beyond Spain, especially in Latin America, and he's one of the most successful Spanish singers ever. In Eurovision he came 7th, but would try his luck again in the next edition. The UK sent a very old-fashioned A Man Without Love, performed by Kenneth McKellar in a kilt, another first for Eurovision.
Then you came, you touched my heart and told the pain to go. And now I've seen everything. It achieved an uncharacteristically bad result for the United Kingdom, coming 8th, but still got top marks from Ireland, probably because of the kilt. 1966 was a bad year for Eurovision powerhouses in general, as France, Monaco and Italy, usually spoiled with success, were the bottom 3. This was especially tragic for Dominico Modugno of Volare fame, who tried for a third and last time to convince the Eurovision jurors and did not get a single point. The first and only time in Italian Eurovision history.
Chi può fermare il fiume che corre verso il mare? Le rondini nel cielo che va vanno verso il sole.
As per usual, the song became a hit, but Dominico Modugno was never to be seen again on a Eurovision stage. Monaco sent Yugoslav singer Teresa at the request of Grace Kelly.
Alors ouvre tes bras, amène-moi loin d'ici. Je veux vivre avec toi et rire avec ta bouche et pleurer de tes yeux et chanter, danser et tout savoir le
and shared last place and 0 points with Italy. France did deserve its bad result for a boring song and the slightly étrange performance style of the singer.
Chez nous, 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 chez nous.
Dominique Walter, the son of Luxembourg's representative in the 1956 Eurovision Song Contest, Michel Arnaud, claimed in his song Chez nous that an American tourist should stay in France as life is much better on the old continent. Finland's song about a playboy was quite feminist, as Ann-Christine Nyström claims in the song that she does not trust said playboy and will not get on his sledge. Okay.
Olet playboy, liukas playboy, arma playboy, mutta verkkosartu en. Olet playboy, liukas playboy, arma playboy, mutta verkkosartu en.
She came 10th. Switzerland apparently tried to fuse France Gall with Nono l'État and was rewarded with a 6th place.
Ne vois-tu pas que les amis ont passé? Au fond de moi l'amour aussi a grandi et je t'aime autrement qu'un ami.
The misfortune of the usual powerhouses opened up space for other countries. The entire top 4 achieved their best result ever. Belgium's very good song by Tonia came 4th.
Un peu de poivre, un peu de sel, un peu d'amour, un peu de miel, un peu de poivre, un peu de sel.
Ase Kleveland performed the song accompanying herself on guitar and, the scandal, wearing pants, the first woman to do so on a Eurovision stage.
Men vad har väl det att se om ting har hänt för mig? Men vad har väl det att se om ting har hänt för mig?
This is my favorite song of 1966, even though I also like Luxembourg quite a lot. Scandinavian Sweden were even more successful than Norway, with a novelty-esque song about a swine's herd and a princess who decide to switch roles at the end of the song, for some reason.
Jag blir hipsvinare, det du kungens mör.
Jag som prinsessa, visst man är hipp. Jag går min trum eller matta min kastrull.
Sweden came second with top marks from Norway, Denmark and Finland, resulting in boos from the Luxembourg audience.
Sweden, 5 points.
However, Sweden's votes weren't the only ones dismaying the audience that night. Spain and Portugal exchanged top marks, Ireland gave 5 points to the United Kingdom, Austria to Switzerland and Switzerland to Germany. Norway voted exclusively for its Nordic friends.
Here are the results of the Norwegian jury. Denmark, 1 point.
Denmark, 1 point. 1 point au Danemark.
Finland, 3 points.
Finland, 3 points. La Finlande, 3 points.
And Sweden, 5 points.
And Sweden,
Le public n'a pas l'air d'accord.
5 points.
Voilà.
Thankfully, a fun exchange between the host and the UK spokesperson lightened the mood a little bit.
I'm calling United Kingdom. Good night, London. No, good evening, London.
Good morning, Luxembourg.
Good morning.
Easy, London.
Austria was leading very clearly after Yugoslavia had voted, however then Sweden drew even with votes from its neighbors. Later on, Austria very clearly took the lead and did not let it go again. Austria received almost double the points of second place Sweden and won, as usually happens, with points from all regions of Europe. Udo Jürgens participated for a third consecutive time and finally managed to win. If I had malicious intentions, I might suggest that the jurors were simply trying to avoid having to listen to a fourth offering. But of course, I'm not going to say that here. Udo Jürgens might have profited from coming after 8 female soloists singing variations of the same song and arguably being the best-looking man of the competition. It is quite ironic that the year the language rule was introduced, Austria managed to win with a song with a title in French. Chérie is a beautiful song. After the breath of fresh air that was France Gall, it seemed like a bit of an anticlimax that Eurovision was back with old-fashioned ballads winning. Udo Jürgens would go on to have a string of hits in German-speaking countries and was a revered figure in the music industry until his death in 2014. Before his reprise performance, he cheekily renamed his song
Merci, Chérie.
The Interval in 1966 was a French jazz band, by the way. Quite progressive. I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe and come back for my episode on Eurovision 1967.